Hey everyone! So today I want to show you how to break down the elements of a story using one of the most famous love stories ever, Romeo and Juliet. Don't worry, I'll keep things super simple. And by the end, you'll be able to spot these plot elements in any story, even your favorite movie. Alright, let's kick things off. Every story has a plot, and a plot is just a fancy way of saying, what happens in the story? There are 5 big parts you want to look for: exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Let's use Romeo and Juliet as our example. First up, exposition. That's just where we meet the main characters and learn about their world. So, in Romeo and Juliet, this means meeting Romeo, Juliet, and their families, the Montagues and the Capulets. And guess what? These families do not get along. Next is the rising action. This is where things start to heat up. Romeo and Juliet meet at a party and fall in love, but plot twist. Their families are enemies. They try to keep their love a secret, which leads to all sorts of problems. Now the climax. Think of this as the most intense part of the story, the point where everything changes. In Romeo and Juliet, the climax happens when Romeo kills Juliet's cousin Tybalt. This is huge because now Romeo gets banished from the city. After the climax comes the falling action. The story starts wrapping up, but things are still a little crazy. Juliet fakes her own death so she can be with Romeo. But Romeo doesn't know it's fake, and he thinks she's really gone. Finally, the resolution. This is where everything comes together at the end. In Romeo and Juliet, it's a tragic ending. Both Romeo and Juliet die. Sad, I know. But their families finally realize how silly their feud was. Now, let's look at all of this on a plot diagram. Imagine a big, curvy mountain. At the bottom, on one side, you've got the exposition, the start of our journey. As the story builds, we climb up the rising action. The climax is the tippy top, the most exciting part. Then we slide down the falling action until we reach the bottom again at the resolution. Here's a fun activity for you. Think about your favorite story or movie. Maybe it's Harry Potter, or The Lion King, or even a superhero movie. Try drawing your own plot diagram, just like we did with Romeo and Juliet. Write down what happens at each stage: exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. You'll be surprised at how easy it is once you know what to look for. Let's do a quick review. Plot is what happens in a story, and it has 5 main parts: exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. If you can spot these, you're basically a story detective. If you made your own plot diagram, share it in the comments or tell me what story you picked.